episode 375, Blind Magic in Alice Springs. Hi everyone, this is your host Murray Stewart. It's wonderful to be here. You know, life has its many challenges, as I've said so often. And so I had my challenge this morning I woke up very, very early. I came out here to my living area and did my usual exercises for my hands. I've jumped back on these exercises because I was very concerned about that seizure I had that I described in a previous episode that took control of my left arm and hand, and I was so concerned because hands are my life. Hands are my life with my myotherapy and my workshops that I do. Without my hands, I don't have an income. So I was motivated to begin doing my own exercise regime that I've been doing for many, many years to keep my hands efficient, flexible and strong. So after doing those exercises, I put the media on, the news, and I was horrified, disgusted and embarrassed by what our country is becoming with this voice debate. It's become totally unhinged, with people being harangued as they went about pursuing their democratic right, and that is to go along to a no gathering at a little hall in Adelaide, and they were subjected to the most gross, vile and disgusting abuse by supporters of the Yes campaign. I mean, why is this so in our wonderful country? But anyway, to move this right along, I also have been subject to a little bit of abuse by just putting up a few ads on Facebook, nothing to do with these podcasts, but merely trying to rent out my home so I can get away to Cairns next year to be with my daughter. So that resulted in some negative stuff, and even putting up a little video about my puppy resulted in some negativity. So I was a little bit down on life, I guess, and so I contemplated opting out altogether and not continuing with my podcast, this very podcast series. I just felt that maybe, as I wasn't able to attract people to talk on these podcasts with me, maybe the quality of the broadcasts were dropping away, because I'm not sure that people just want to hear my voice all the time. And I was concerned, just listening back to some of the episodes myself, that the absence of people wanting to talk with me on these podcasts was causing a lack of quality in what I was personally hearing. One episode in particular I intend deleting should I continue with these podcasts. But most amazingly, and with great encouragement, and I'm far more positive tonight, after talking to listeners of this podcast series who are friends of mine, they persuaded me not to give up the podcast. And that within itself is not a good enough reason to continue with this series. But it was one friend of mine in particular who has been listening to these podcasts right from the start, who said that it motivates him and that it provides solace for him and a zone of positivity, which is actually why I started the podcast. That's exactly what I wanted this to be. because I was helped by podcasters and I felt that I had something to contribute. And just that one person today who is a wonderful and special friend of mine, but just to hear that these episodes have picked him up off the floor occasionally was enough for me to say, I can't let my listeners down, and I always said that I don't get on here and think, 14,200 downloaders, wow, that's a lot of people. I only concentrate on that one person who might be getting a message of hope, a message of belief, a message of motivation. I only concentrate on that one person. And so I got that one person. I got that one person who told me today how much these podcasts motivate him from time to time. So I'm going to carry on. I am going to carry on. That was message enough for me to know that I am doing exactly the task that I set out to do. You know, I will be looking at ways of improving the quality of the broadcast. It is frustrating that there are people that don't want to participate with me on the podcast, because I think that it would improve the quality of some of my episodes. But the truth is, I can't force them to do it. If they simply are too shy, or I don't know, whatever their reasons are, then I guess I've got to accept that to a large extent. But I'll deal with my frustrations in a collegial manner and see if I can encourage them to understand that they too can help people to, through a difficult time, that they're actually doing a service by helping me to do these podcasts. I said once before that I always thought that people were just shy of having their photograph taken, but I've found that no, they're actually even more shy of this form of media, using their voice. That I can't relate to, because I can talk and I use the spoken word every moment I'm awake, because I have to, being vision impaired. It's my go-to. Of course it is. So I'll just have to keep encouraging people around me to understand that there is nothing to be afraid of. There is nothing to be afraid of. And please, can you step up and help me to help others? Because that's what we're doing, folks. That's what we're doing. And I was so almost excited when I heard what I heard today from my good friend and listener to this episode about what I have been able to achieve for him. It makes me feel so damn good. It really does. I won't name him because he deserves his confidentiality, but that was a very, very special and motivating moment. And also there was a listener in Melbourne who is another person who is a dear friend of mine, who also encouraged me to continue. She said that she enjoys listening to them. She said sometimes they even give me a laugh. And laugh is a great cure for any form of challenge that we have. So once again, I have been able to motivate someone, even if it is just with a little laugh. I'm not sure what she was laughing about or over, but I've done so many of these episodes now. I'm sure there's been some humorous moments. I especially remember some humorous moments when I was doing a podcast with Ivor Rupus, or someone I call the Beach Man, And I remember most definitely some humorous moments when I was working with Adrian Renzi, great friend of mine. And yeah, that was a funny episode. So look, I aim to motivate, adrenalise, and to assist anyone out there who's going through whatever the challenges you have in your life. I just hope that I can continue being a source of help, assistance to you, because the Lord above, I'm certain, has saved me for a reason. I've told you, I have died. In Brisbane, I did die. And I was only brought back through the agency of some wonderful people who applied CPR to me for 7 minutes, and I then received defibrillation. So here I am back again. I must be here for a reason. I must be here for a reason. And who knows, the reason might very well be these podcasts in order to help assist and motivate others. That's why I do it. That's absolutely why I do it. So thank you, Lord. And through the Lord, may I also thank my beautiful listeners, my wonderful, wonderful, amazing, beautiful listeners, particularly those who gave me advice today to hang in there, keep them coming. Well, I will, but I won't just hang in. I'll improve the broadcast. I'll make them even more motivational for you. I'll get up off the floor myself and give you a hand up. I will. I'll give you a hand up. As for all these other issues in society, well, I'll just keep chipping away, see what I can do to assist to break these walls down and to bring us back to being this wonderful nation that we are, preserving family and Christian values. And let us be united once again. Once we get through this horrible voice referendum and the divisiveness it's caused, let's get back together again. Let's be this amazing, amazing country that we are. I know we can. You know we can. And so we will. This has been episode 375, a Blind Magic Communications production.